ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Namaskaram, respected dignitaries, my colleagues and others. It is my great privilege to introduce Dr. R. Sathyanarayanan, a distinguished scholar in Sanskrit studies and Śaiva traditions. He currently serves as Associate Professor, the EFEO Pondichéry, an institution renowned for its pioneering contributions to Asian studies. His research interests are wide-ranging and deeply rooted in the classical traditions of India. His work primarily focuses on Śaiva Siddhanta, Sanskrit inscriptions, manuscriptology, and South Indian religious traditions. Through his meticulous scholarship, he has made significant contributions in the form of critical editions, translations, and interdisciplinary studies that bring together epigraphy, literature, and theology. He has published extensively in reputed national and international journals. Through his sustained and insightful scholarship, he continues to deepen our understanding of Sanskrit intellectual traditions and the historical evolutions of Shaivism, both within India and in the broader global academic discourse. It is an honor to welcome such an eminent person among us today. Thank you.
ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। या सृष्टिस्रष्टराद्या वहति विधिहुतं या हविः या च होत्री ये द्वे कालं विधत्तः श्रुतिविषयगणा या स्थिता व्याप्य विश्वं या माहुः सर्वबीजप्रकृतिरिति यया प्राणिनः प्राणवन्तः प्रत्यक्षाभिः प्रपन्नः तनुभिरवतु वः ताभिरष्टाभिरीशः. Good afternoon, all of you, Professor Neelakandan and all the team who are working for this DiPiKA project. Now, I would like to say something about the Prayashchittas, because the Prayashchitta is the thing which I was I'm working since many years. So, what are the Prayashchittas? Three types of Prayashchitta, or three forms of Prayashchittas, or three places where Prayashchittas are being used. In Vaidika, Smārta, of course, these are the two things, and Śaiva. So, what are the Prayashchittas are being conducted in these three systems? Prayashchitta is an important concept in Dharma Shastra, referring to the process of expiation, wrongdoing, and restoring moral balance. It arises from the understanding that human beings are prone to error, and that actions, whether intentional or accidental, can create moral and spiritual consequences, papa. Prayashchitta provokes a structured way to acknowledge faults, express remorse, and actively seek purification. It may involve practices such as upavasa, dana, mantra japa, tapas, or tirthayatra. Depending on the severity of the offense and the individual's capacity. Beyond external acts, it emphasizes inner transformation, including sincere repentance and commitment not to repeat the mistake. In this sense, Prayashchitta is not merely a corrective, but corrective and restorative. It helps re-establish harmony within the individual and the wider moral order, allowing a person to move forward with greater awareness discipline, and alignment with dharma. This prayaschitta can be brought under two divisions, the Vaidika and Smārta. Prayaschitta in Vedic rituals refer to the corrective and expiatory rites performed to address mistakes or impurities that arise during sacred ceremonies, yajna or yaga, in those things. In the Vedic tradition, especially in texts like Brahmanas and Shrauta Sutras, ritual precision is considered essential because even small errors in pronunciation, timing, or procedure can affect the intended outcome of a sacrifice. Within Vedic ritualism, prayaschitta serves as a built-in safeguard. If a priest mispronounces a mantra, uses an incorrect offering, or performs a step improperly, specific corrective actions are prescribed. These may include repeating the mantra correctly, offering additional oblations into the sacred fire, reciting special expiatory formulas, or performing supplementary rites to neutralize the fault. Prayaschitta in Smārta tradition refers to expiatory practices prescribed in Smārta tradition texts to atone for moral, social, or ritual lapses in daily life. Unlike Vedic ritual corrections, Smārta Prayaschitta focuses more on personal conduct and ethical responsibility. It includes acts such as fasting, upavasa, dana, japa, and then ritual bathing, and then some pilgrimage, visiting some pilgrimage centers. The type and intensity depend on the nature of the wrongdoing, whether intentional or accidental, and the individual's capacity. The aim is inner purification, repentance, and restoration of dharma. Prayaschitta in Śaiva Siddhanta refers to acts of expiation meant to remove impurities, mala, caused by wrongdoing and to restore one's relationship with Lord Shiva. In Śaiva Siddhanta, the soul is bound by mala and karma, and prayaschitta helps purify these through both outer and inner means. It includes temple worship, mantra recitation, fasting, charity, and rituals performed under the guidance of a guru. Confusion and sincere repentance are emphasized, often accompanied by specific rites in temples. The goal is not just correction of faults, but spiritual purification and progress toward moksha. When one become a prayaschitti, akurvan vihitam karma, pratishuddhani chacharan prayaschittiyate hyevam naro mithyatu vartanat. This is the Mahabharata Shanti Parva says. And similarly, akurvan vihitam karma ninditam cha samacharan prasajamscha indriyartheshu prayaschittiyate naraha. This Manu and Yagnavalkya both are more or less telling the same thing. One who does not, this is the base core thing, when one becomes a prayaschitti, what should he do? One who does not perform prescribed duties, vihita karma tyagaha, and instead engages in prohibited actions. So, avihita karma acharanam. So these two things are insisted by many smritikaras. So vihita karma tyagaha and nishiddha karma acharanam. So neglect of duty is vihita karma tyagaha is a papa karma. So like sandhya vandana, agnihotra, all these things are vihita karma. So if one does not do, so vihita karma tyagena ayam papi bhavati, it means he becomes a papa, afflicted with papa. And then nishiddha karma acharanam, also a sin. What are nishiddha karma acharanam? Anata bhashanam, himsa, steyam, bhojya bhojanam. So these are the things, nishiddha karma, it is a prohibited acts. If someone acts these prohibited actions, he also becomes a papi, so he becomes a sinner. So both these vihita karma tyagaha, nishiddha karma acharanam, both becomes disturbs dharma, therefore require a purification. So how prayaschitta comes under Dharma Shastra? In the framework of Dharmashastra, Prayaschitta is considered an essential exponent because Dharmashastra is not just about prescribing ideal conduct. It also addresses what happens when Dharma is violated. The wrongdoing creates not just personal guilt, but disturbance in cosmic and social order, Dharma. Dharmashastra covers both action and correction in the text like Manusmriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti, and all other 18 Smritis. For example, you see, Yo Rakshan Balimadatte Karam Shulkam cha Parthivaha Pratibhogam cha Dandam cha Sasadyo Narakam Varje. So this is the duty of a king is prescribed. If a king who collects tax, dues, offerings, fees, and fines without providing proper protection to his subjects, then he goes to hell immediately. Here, Praja Rakshanam is Dharma. So it's a duty of a king is Praja Rakshanam. If he fails to do that, protect the people, he goes to hell, Naraka Prapti. So, so if he protects people properly, then he will be the Swarga Prapti. He goes to Swarga. So, what are the duties of king? Is Atri Smriti says, Dushtasya Dandaha, Sujanasya Puja, Nyayena Koshasya cha Sampravruddhihi, Apekshapatorthishu, Rashtra Raksha, Panchaiva Yajnaha Kathita Nrapanam. So these are the 6 duties prescribed for kings. So he has to give punishment only to Dushtaha, Dushtasyaiva Dandaha. He should punish only Dushta, the wicked. And Sujanasya Puja, he has to worship the good people. Nyayena Koshasya Sampravruddhihi, he has to increase the prosperity, wealth in his treasury through the legal way. Apakshapataha, so there should be any pakshapata, means pakshapata means favoritism, maybe sometime. So these are the duties of a king. So Prayaschitta comes under Dharmashastra because the Dharmashastra governs right conduct and its violations. It provides mechanism for atonement and restoration. Without Prayaschitta, the system would lack a way to deal with more moral failure. Therefore, the Prayaschitta acts as a purification process, a means to neutralize karma, a way to reintegrate into society and ritual life. Varieties of sins or crimes. All the sins such as Mahapataka, Atipataka, Pataka, Upapataka, Prakirna, Prasangika, there are many such terms used or categorized in different ways by different authors. Different authors uses this, some are Atipataka and some are Upapatakas in that way. Those sins or crimes are of 2 kinds. Jnanataha, Ajnanataha. It is intentional and unintentional. And then Rahasya and Prakasha. So openly and secretly. Buddhipurvam and Abuddhipurvam. It is knowingly and unknowingly. These are the varieties of the sins we are knowingly or unknowingly committing mistakes. And there are combinations in committing sins or crimes. Is Akamat Rahasye, Kamataha Rahasye. Akamat Prakashe, Kamataha Prakashe. These are in the combination of these things also is being treated in some Dharmashastra text. Also sins committed through Manasa, Vachika and Kayika. These are also papas, sins. The Prayaschitta will be severe for intentionally committing mistakes. Also, if the sin is committed once and do Prayaschitta, that will be different. If it is repeated again and again, asakrat, the Prayaschitta will be tough. Types of Prayaschitta prescribed. Of course, these are Upavasa, Tapas, Dhanam, and the Mantra Parayanam, Tirthayatra, and Panchaga Viprasana. These are the things are prescribed. For severe sins, for Mahapatakas, I think it requires more intense expiation than the minor ones. Actually, these are all the things for minor transgressions. In the Vaidika framework, Prayaschitta is primarily ritualistic and corrective. It arises within the context of Vedic sacrifices, where even minor errors in mantra recitation, procedure, or timing are believed to disturb cosmic order. The expiation here is technical. Specific rites, offerings, or recitations are prescribed to repair the ritual fault. The emphasis is not so much on moral guilt as on restoring the efficacy and correctiveness of the sacrificial act. Vaidika Prayaschitta, this is rooted in Vedas, especially the Brahmana and Kalpa Sutras like Shrauta, Sulba, and Vriksha Sutras. This is ritual centric, focus on correcting errors in sacrifices, and the types of thing is mantra correction. It is repetition or substitution if mantra is mispronounced, and additional offerings, ahutis, are prescribed, and such as Prayaschitta Homa. And if a priest makes an error in the Agnihotra, corrective rites are prescribed in texts like Avastamba Kalpa Sutra, uses a specific mantra to nullify ritual defects. For example, Ashulayana Shrauta Sutra prescribes Yajnopavita Shauchecha. Here, the Yajnopavita Shauchabhyam Vina Kinchitavi Karma Nakartavyam Ityetadartham Itaratha Shastradinam Madhye Yadi Yajnopavitasya Vinasho Vasyat Mukhadva Viprusho Nipateyuhu Tathapi Shastradinam Vichede Prayashchittam Bhavati Iti Matva Shastradinam Parisamapyeva Yajnopavitam Kuryat Achamanam Va Tan Mabhuditi Yajnopavitam Krutva Achamya Punaha Seshaha Samapayitavya Ityetadartham Edadarabhyate Pramadat Yajnopavita Shauchabhyam Vina Krite Prayashchittam Kuryat. No ritual karma should be performed without wearing the sacred thread Yajnopavita and without purity Saucha. This is the intended rule. However, if during the performance of ritual the sacred thread breaks or drops falling from the mouth while speaking Viprut, even then one should not immediately interrupt the ritual, thinking that expiation will be required for such an interruption or defect. One should first complete the ongoing ritual and only afterwards replace the sacred thread and perform Achamana. To avoid such situations, one should begin the ritual properly by wearing the sacred thread, Yajnopavita Nutanam Dharanam, and Shaucham Achamanam beforehand, and then complete the rest of the ritual. If due to negligence a ritual is performed without the sacred thread or without purity, then one must perform expiation. And another one is a Viprud Homa. I think this is another expiatory offering, Prayaschitta Huti, designated to atone for the drops of soma let fall at an sacrifice. Viprudhoma is a specialized expiatory ritual when Vedic tradition often this is often translated as an oblation of drops. It is performed to neutralize impurities or errors committed during the soma sacrifice. Specifically, when soma, the sacred ritual drink, is accidentally split during pressing. This is again the same. Okay, then Smārta Prayaschitta, if you see, and Smārta tradition Prayaschitta becomes more ethical, social, and juridical. Drawing from 18 Dharmashastra texts like Manuscript, Yajnavalkya, and Parashasmriti, and so on, it addresses moral transgressions, sins, and violations of social duty. Smārta Prayaschitta, the Smriti text has some consideration and flexibility in undergoing Prayaschitta. What the flexibility is, Desham kalam vayaha shaktim papam cha abeksha yatnataha prayaschittam prakalpyam syat. yatra chokta nanuskritihi. So in the Smārta prayaschitta, the consideration is if some prayaschitta is prescribed for someone, it has to be prescribed based on seeing his condition, the time, his age, and his capacity, and the severity of the sin he committed. All these things, after examining those things, only he has to be given a prayaschitta. So this sort of consideration is being seen. Also, ashitaryasya varshani balo vapi ūnaṣodaṣah prayaschittardhamarhanti striyo rogana evacha. So if someone is above 80, because he is an old one, and one who is less than 16 years, balo vapi ūnaṣodaṣah, they are eligible for prayaschitta ardhamarhanti. If someone is a fit person who has to perform 100 ahuti or 100 homa or 100 mantra japa or something, means that will be a half for the people one who is more than 80 and less than 16. Also woman, striyaha, and rogina evacha, if someone is ill, physically not good. For them, these are all the considerations are seen. Anukta nishkritinam tu papanam apanuttaye shaktim cha aveksha papam cha prayaschittam prakalpaye. So everything is based on, after examining the personal condition of the person who has to undergo the prayaschitta, this has to be prescribed for the person. And then who will do that? Who prescribes the prayaschitta? Is it a random or someone who is our person who is elder in the family, or one who is good in the street? Who will prescribe the prayaschitta for any wrongdoings? So ajñātva dharmashastrāni prayaschittam dadat yaha prayaschitti bhavet pūtaha kilpisham parishadi vrajet. So these prayashchittas are to be prescribed by the council or assembly, the group of people. Yaha Prayaschittam yaha dharmashastrani ajñātva, one who unknowingly, without knowing the dharmashastra text properly, prayaschittam dadati, who prescribes prayaschitta, that prayaschitti pūtaha bhavet, that one who has performed the prayaschitta thing, he becomes pure. He will become pure, whereas the committee, the assembly which has been prescribed, they go to hell. So it means they should be properly educated, properly knowledgeable people only supposed to be there in the assembly to prescribe prayaschitta to others. Chatvaro va trayo vapi yam bruyuhu vedaparagaha sa dharma iti vijñeyaha netaraistu sahasrashaha. So what is dharma is either 4 or 3 whom you say has completed all Vedas, vedaparagaha. Sa dharma iti vijñeyaha. He is the one, they are the one who is the dharma. It means if they prescribe something, because they are well versed in Vedas, so if they speak something, that is dharma, not by the people who are thousands of people are prescribing, talking something. No, you do this one, you do this one. That cannot be considered because they are not dharma. So chatvaro va trayo vapi yam bruyuhu vedaparagaha sa dharma iti vijñeyaha na itaristu sahasrashaha. And then chatvaro va trayo vapi vedavantu agnihotrinaha brahmananam samartha ye parishat sa vidhiyate. So what is assembly? Parishat means consists of is either 4 or 3. Chatvaraha trayo vapi vedavantaha agnihotrinaha. The assembly, the group consists of the people who has completed the Vedas and Agnihotrinaha, this Yajna Yaga, the performer of Yajna and Yaga. So this assembly, this 4 or 3 consists of such people. That is Parishat. That is considered as an assembly. And then Anahitagnayo yenye vedanga paragaha pancha trayo va dharmagnaha parishatsa prakirtita. So okay, also either 4 or 3 who are completed the Vedas and the performer of Yajna Yagas is an assembly. In the same way, if anahitagnayaha ye anyim, they are not Vedanga paragaha, they are completed Vedas and Shadanga Vedangas, but they are not Ahitagnis. They are not the regular performer of fire rituals. So then, Pancha Trayova Dharmagnaha. Of course, they are also Dharmagnas, but the numbers becomes more. Earlier, those who has completed Vedas and also practicing Agnihotra, it is 3, 4 or 3 is enough. Here, if one who is not performing Agnihotra, so we need one more number. So 5 or 4, 5 or 3, then that consists of a parishad, that becomes an assembly. And then Muninam, Atma Vidyanam, Dvijanam, Yajnayajinam, Vedavrateshu Snatanam, Ekopi Parishad Bhaved. Even a single man bench, single person also can be a assembly, that council. If he is Munis, means one who knows Atma Vidya, one who knows himself, the Atma Jnani, and then Yajnayaji, also who is performing this regular fire rituals, and who is Vedavrateshu Snatanam, and also who is undergoing all Vedic rituals or practices, one who follows, then he is a single man also can become an assembly or this council. Of course, this is in English. And then types of prayashchittas. Here again the Upavasa, Tirtha Yatra, Dana, Mantra Japa, Krichra and Chandrayana, these are the vratas are prescribed. And then types of prayashchitta. Yeteir dvijatayashodhya vrataihi avishkritaina saha anavishkrita papamstu mantrair homaischa shodhayet. Khyapanena anutapena tapasa adhyanena cha papakran muchyate papat tatha danena cha apadi. The Dvijas who have openly acknowledged their sins, avishkritaina saha, should be purified through vratas, chandrayana, etc. And then anavishkrita papamstu mantrair homaischa sodhayet. But those whose sins are not publicly known should purify themselves through mantras and homas. By confession, repentance, austerity, and Vedadhyena, a person who has committed the sin becomes freed from it. And sometimes distress, one becomes purified through dana also. Danena cha apadi. So this is the Upavasa, many things we have seen. So types of expiation is Upavasa is one thing. Vedoditanam nityanam karmanam samatikrame snataka vratalopecha prayaschittam abhojanam. So it's a Upavasa, abhojanam, fasting. When this is just for example, I have taken one because it's all these texts are full of this prescription only. Vedoditanam nityanam karmanam samatikrame. If one crosses, if one violates the daily obligatory rituals as prescribed in Vedas, and snataka vratalopecha, or one who does not follow the snataka vrata, for him prayashchittam is abhojanam, it's a fasting. Triratra uposhitaha purusha sukta japa homabhyam gurutalpagaha. One is a Vishnu Dharma Sutra. One who goes to the bed of a guru, shares the bed of a guru, he will be freed from that sin by fasting for 3 days. Triratra uposhitaha purusha sukta japa homabhyam cha. Maybe he has to perform purusha sukta japa and also purusha sukta homa. Gurum hunkrutya tvamkrutya vipram nirjitya vadataha badhvava vasasa kshipram prasadya upavase dinam. So here the fasting for a day, whereby gurum hunkrutya is something as if his guru, something like that, is speaking loudly to his guru, and you, guru, something talking in a single manner. So Vipraihi Vadataha Nirjitya Vipram, conquering the Vipra through his debate. So Badhava Vasasa Kshipram. So this is the, if you see the practice, I think it was there in many places. So one has to tie his the garment within himself. So it means to show his respect towards his guru, and one day he has to be fast. And then for dana, tapaha param kritayuge. So in Kritayuga, tapas is considered is supreme. Tretayam jnanam uchyate. In Treta Yuga, this jnanam is something supreme. Dvapare yajnamevahu. In Dwapara Yuga, yajna is considered as supreme. And Kalau Yuge danameva. In Kali Yuga, its danam is considered as a supreme. Abhigamya krite danam tretasu ahuya diyate. Dvapare yachamanaya sevaya diyate kalau. This is Parashara Smriti. So in Krite Yuga, in Krita Yuga, Abhigamya kritam danam. So you go to somebody's house and give danam, that is danam in Krita Yuga. Treta su ahuya diyate. In Treta Yuga, oh, sir, please come to my house, I'll offer you something. So in that way, in Treta Yuga, people used to call themselves into their house and offer something. Dvapare yachamanaya. In the Dvapariga, whoever begs, hello sir, please give me something. So that is considered as a dana in Dvapariga. Yachamanaya danam iti Dvapare. Sevaya diyate kalau. In Kali Yuga, you do this one, you complete this job, so I'll give you dana. That is not a dana, it's a remuneration, of course. For completing some work, what we offer or giving, that cannot be considered as a dana. That is a remuneration, but that remuneration is considered as a dana in Kalau Yuga. That is what seen. Abhigamya uttamam danam ahoyivatu. So Abhigamya uttamam danam. So if you go to somebody and offer something danam, what it was in Krita Yuga, that is a uttamam danam. Ahoyivatu madhyamam. If you invite somebody and offer something, that is madhyamam. So okay, not bad. Adhamam yachamanaya. It's the worst thing, bad thing is who is asking something and you are giving something, that is adhamam. Sevadanam tu nishpalam. Because if you make yourself work for you for some half an hour and pay for it, that is a remuneration, that is not a danam. So it has no fruit of what you give, get the fruit of danam. So dana phalam you don't get. Remuneration you will get. Of course, for whatever you have received the work, for that pay something, that remuneration fruit is phalam is okay, but dana phalam you don't get. Shantya Shuddhanti Vidvamsaha Danena Akaryakarinaha. So this is Manuscript, of course. So the Vidvamsaha, they should have more patience. And Akaryakarinaha, one who are those who are working unwanted work, they will be purified by dana. And then Tirtha Yatra. Tirthabhigamanam punyam yajnairapi visishyate. That's what in Mahabharata says. The performance of pilgrimage is considered compared to a sacrifice to the gods. Sacrifices, it is said, require numerous implements, collection of materials, the support of priests, and many more things. Thus, they can be performed only by kings or wealthy people, but not by poor men. At the same time, the reward that a man gets by visiting holy places as the result of the Tirtha Yatra cannot be secured by performing even such sacrifices as Agnishtoma, Vajpaya, etc., in which a large fee and expenditure is involved. Therefore, visiting holy places is superior to sacrifice. That is what Mahabharata says. And then a similar idea is found in the Brahma Purana. Tapaso yajnadananam tirtha sevanam uttamam. So they worshipping, doing service, the going for the Tirtha Yatra is greater than tapas or yajna and dana. Also, Parashara Smriti prescribes the Tirthayatra is a substitute of performing Krishna penance. So, Krishna, Chandrayana, these are the vratas. Dviyojanam Tirthayatra Krishram Ekam Prakalpitam. So, if you want to perform Krishna penance, so, sorry, other way around. Tirthayatrartham dviyojana gamanam. So, you are setting off from your home as a Tirthayatra. So, go of 2 yojanas. Yojana roughly it's 8 miles or something. So, if you go 2 yojana distance, as you are going for Tirthayatra, that is considered as a 1 Krishram. So, going to Tirthayatra for through 2 yojana is considered as 1 Krishram. So, this is in that way, I think it gives this Parashara Smriti gives a lot of things. Visiting from here to Ganga or from different directions of our country, going to Prayaga and Kashi and all these things, how much the Krishna Phalam, Chandrayana Phalam, how much they will obtain. It's a very long discussion is there in Parashara Smriti. And then Mantra Japa, I think this is a common one. Goshte Vasan Brahmachari Masamekam Payovrataha Gayatri Japya Nirataha Shuddhyeta Asat Pratigrahat. By receiving unfit or unsuitable gift, he will be purified by staying in the cow's shed for a month with the Payovrata and reciting the Gayatri Japa, he will be purified. Yatha Ashwamedha Kraturat Sarva Papa Apanodakaha Tatha Aghamarsanam Sutram Sarva Papa Apanodakam. So this is Vishnu Smriti. As we know that the king of Yajnas, Kraturat, Ashwamedha. Ashwamedha is the supreme of all these Yajnas, which removes all sins, Sarva Papa Apanodakaha. In the same way, Aghamarsanam Suktam is Sarva Papa Apanodakam. So that removes all types of sins. So the mantra recitations. And then if you see that this Vishnu Smriti, Vishnu Sukta, not Vishnu Smriti, I think Vishnu chapter 56 enumerates the mantras to recite for Prayaschitta. Athataha sarva veda pavitrani bhavanti yesham japyaischa homaischa dvijatayaha papebhyaha puyante. After saying that, Aghamarsanam, Devakritam, Kushmandaha, there are nearly 60-70 such mantra names are given in that one. So these are the things for the Parayanam or something is being done for different purposes. And vratas, this Chandrayanam and Paragam. Yatischa Brahmachari cha Pakwanna Swaminahu Ubhau. Tayor Annamadatva cha Bhuktva Chandrayanam charet. So for cooked food, these two are more fit persons, who Yati and Brahmachari, this sannyasins and Brahmachari, because they should not cook. So for them, only Grihastha has to offer food, cooked food. Pakwanna Swamina, they are the recipients, they are the eligible persons to receive this cooked food is Yati and Brahmacharya. Tayor Annam Adatva, without being providing the food, cooked food for them, Chandrayanam Charit, the Grihastha has to perform Chandrayana. Prajapatyam Charet Krichram, Samava Gurutalpakaha, Chandrayanam va 3 masan, Abhyaset Veda Samhitam. This is Yajnavalkya's Prayaschitta Samuchaya. One who has committed the grave sin of violating the teacher's bed, Guru Talpa, should perform the Krichra called Prajapati Krichra. So the Krichra, this Chandran has so many varieties, so many types and these combinations for different. These are all Upavasa based. It is one has to take this much quantity for 1 day, go on decreasing, and then for 15 days, and then go on increasing for 15 days, and for without eating anything for 15 days. So this combination has multiple combinations. There are so many such vratas. Krichra, Chandrayana, Prajapatya, Shishu Chandrayana, Yati Chandrayana, Bala Krichra, Ati Krichra. So many such things. And avagurya charet krichram atikrichram nipatane krichratikuchram kurvita viprasya utpadya shonitam. So this is again in Vishnu Smriti, having tried to strike with a stick. Avaguhya charet krichram. So one has to undergo krichra vrata. Atikrichram nipatane, if you make a brahmana to fall, so you perform atikrichra. Krichratikuchram kurvita viprasya utpadya shonitam. If you see while beating, if you see a blood in that brahmana, so you have to undergo krichra vrata. So in that way, many such things. Kashtadina, again, similar thing in Brihaspati Smriti. Kashtadina tadayitva tvagphede krichramachare asthibhede atikrichra parakastu angakartane. So in that way, different gradations of performing these krichras. Panchagavya. Kshatriyam mritam ajnanat brahmano yo anugacchati ekaham ashuchirbhutva panchagavyena shuddhyati. If Kshatriya who has deceased, who follows unknowingly, then being impure for one day, and the next day, if you consume the Panchagavya, 5 products of the cow, you become pure. Bhakshya bhujya apaharane yana shayya asanasya cha pushpa moola phalanam cha panchagavyam sodhanam. So if you steal bhakshya, bhojya, and steal yana, shayya, and asana, a vehicle, seat, bed, pushpa moola phalanam cha, if you steal all these things, then what is the purification is consume the 5 products of the cow. It is a panchagavya sodhanam. In Śaiva tradition, prayaschitta often takes on a more internalized and spiritual character. While external rites are observed still exist, greater emphasis is placed on devotion, that is bhakti, diksha, mantra practice, and divine grace, anugraha. Sin is seen not only as an action, but as a manifestation of spiritual ignorance or impurity, mala. Thus, expiation involves inner transformation and alignment with Shiva, sometimes even transcending the need for elaborate external penance. In many Śaiva systems, especially tantric ones, the ultimate purification comes through knowledge and the Guru's initiation, rather than solely through prescribed austerities. Okay, of course, in Prayaschitta definitions are there in many Smārta texts also I had seen. So here in Prayaschitta Vidhi, I had noticed that the definition is Prayo Vinasha Yuktaha Ityuktaha. Praya is in this Prayaschitta, if you see that. Prayo Vinasha Yuktaha. Praya means Vinashaha. Chittam Sandhanam Uchate. Chittam means that which connects. Punar Nashtasya Sandhanam. So Vinashasya Sandhanam. What you have lost, now you are connecting that. Punar Nashtasya Sandhanam Prayashchittam iti smritam. So this is the definition I had seen in the Prayashchitta Vidhi. And then, why Prayashchitta in Śaiva Siddhanta? Prayashchitta Vidhim Vakshe Samanyam Dvijasattamaha Vidhir Nishedha Ityevam Chodanat Dividhamata Anushtitanam Tasyam Syat Yathavad Dharma Sangraha Vaiparityetu Adharmaha Syat Tena Papam Mahad Bhavetu Tena Adhogamane Prapte Kartrudhvam Padam Param Padam Yat Karma Nayati Tyuktam Prayashchittam Iha Agame. So this is seen in Kamikagama. Now I speak the directions for performing certain rites to do Prayashchitta for defects and violations. In a general way, the agamic rules are of 2 kinds. Vidhihi nisheda ityevam chodana dividhamata. Those command to do and command not to do. That is a vidhi. Kuru, akuru. Which command to desist from certain deeds. Nishedha. What is that? Chodana dividhamata. Anuштitayam tasyam syad yathavad dharma sangraha Vaiparitye tu adharmaha syat tena papam mahadbhayam. By observing and following the vidhis, one could accumulate virtuous effects. Performing of the deeds in a contradictory way, that is violating the rules, lead to non-virtuous effects. By such performance, there would occur great sin. Prayaschitta is prescribed right that frees a person from the faults caused by violations and omissions, allowing them to reach the highest state of bliss. And then Brahme muhurtamarabhya kshetrapalarchanadikam kriyayaha karane chaiva vyatyase viparitake visprite dravyahine cha prayaschittam vidhiyate. It is in Amshumat Tantra. So starting from early morning, Brahme muhurtamarabhya, starting from early morning, kshetrapala archanadikam, the worshipping of kshetrapala, worship and all other things. Kriyayaha karane chaiva. So while doing any activities, vyatyase, if you do any differently, viparitake in opposite way, vismrite, if you forget something, any of these activities work, dravyahine, it's a material lack, prayashchittam vidhiyate, then the prayashchitta has to be performed. Okay, this is a very big list in Kamika. Prayashchittas prescribed in Agamas: Snanam, Japaha, Shivadhyanam, Pranayamaha, Pradakshinam. Of course, all these things. Snanam, taking bath. Japaha, recitation of any mantra japa. Shivadhyanam is meditating on Shiva. Pranayamaha means the breath control, the pranayama, and Pradakshinam, circumambulation. Kasya, what Pradakshinam is? Linga Bera Agamadinam Swaguroho Deshikasya, maybe. So circumambulating, doing pradakshina for Linga, Shivalinga, and Bera and other Murtis. Agamadinam means Agama books, manuscripts or something, what is written on something, on the material. Agama Pustakasya Pradakshinam. And Swaguroho, his own Guru, because in Shaiva Siddhanta, the Guru is considered as something superior. It means without Guru, nothing works there in Shaiva Siddhanta. Of course, it's a Guru is important in other religion, other things also. But in Shaiva Siddhanta, it's a Guru's place is something different. It's much higher. And Swaguroho, Deshikasya cha, maybe Guru, his Guru could be, that's what I think, I don't know. Swaguruhu is his Guru, Deshikasya means Guru's Guru, doing Pradakshinam to Guru and his Guru. And Shivajnana Ratanam cha Darshanam, of course, those who are constantly engaged on Shivajnana, Shaiva Siddhanta thinking, seeing them, and Tanirikshanam, always maybe following them. Namaskaradyam Etesham, so worshipping, prostrating to all of them. Shivadhama Nishevanam, so doing service in Shiva temple. Shiva Agni Guru Puja cha, so worshipping this, also these three, it's most important in Shaiva Siddhanta. Shiva, Agni, and Guru. So these three, worshipping all these three, Shiva, Agni, and Guru. And Bhojanam, Dikshitatmana, feeding this Dikshitas, initiated one. Punya Tirtha Avagahascha, going, taking bath in sacred places, Punya Kshetra. Panchagavya Ashanam, so consuming the Panchagavya. Shiva Shastra Ambhaha, Tato Diksha, Shiva Shastra Ambhaha, maybe Shiva Shastra, it's consuming the Tirtha of Shiva Shastra, maybe Agama, I don't understand that. Punya Kshetra Adhivasanam, maybe residing a day in the sacred Kshetra, Punya Kshetra. Upavasaha, Charor, Upavasaha, fasting. Charor Bhakti means consuming that charu. Patashesha Ashanam Yat, so what is remaining in that charu patra? Shantihi, the Shanti Homa. Shanti Homaha, Dishakhyaha, Disha Homaha, Samhita Huti, Samhita Homaha, Murti Homaha. These are the Shanti Homas prescribed in Shaiva Siddhanta, Shaivagamas. These being performed as a prayashchitta, but Shanti Homa, Disha Homa, Murti Homa, Samhita Homa, all these things. And Ghrita, Kshaudra, Kshira, Snanadi, Anekada. So bathing, it's a Abhisheka of Ghrita, ghee, and Kshaudra will be honey, and Kshira milk. With that, making bath, Abhisheka. Yekahadi Utsavaha, performing the Utsava for sing 1 day festival. Shitakumbha Vidhi, that is another important Prayaschitta ritual there. Vaiseshika Archanam, it's a special Archana in temples as a reparation Prayaschitta. Yevamadi Samuddishtam Prayashchittam Sanatanam. These are the things are prescribed in this earlier in ancient things as a Prayashchitta. In Kamikagama it is seen. And then as we have seen the flexibility in the Smriti text, actually this is the one which I was reading this Śaiva Agama. Since I am working on that, I am happened to read all these things. I was thinking that nothing is there in the Smriti text. I think in recent times only I have noticed all these things are also there in Smriti text. So this one, this is my fault actually, because I do not know what is there in Smriti text. When I notice now, so both things are there in both the places. These are all general rules. So the flexibility also that, of course, in Vaidika Kriya, there is no flexibility. You have to do this Pushma and Homa now means in that Homa, you have to perform are given in Smriti text as well as in Agama text. So the same thing, Ashitaryasya Varshani, Balo Vapi Unashodasaha, Prayaschitta Ardhamarahanti, Striyo Vyadhi Piditaha, Tatrapicha Pariklesham Gnatva Ardhardham Prakalpaye, Desham, Kalam, Vayaha, Shaktim, Jatim, Bhaktim, Kriyakramam, Suvicharya Pradatavyam. So it has to be given with more cautious, because seeing all his conditions, physical conditions. No pavaso rujanvite. There is no fasting to be prescribed for the person who is already sick. So no further fasting for him. Prayaschitta asamarthasya pitrubhratra dibandhavaihi tat vibhajya vidatavyam. So if one is not able to perform this prayaschitta, that has to be split and give it to his son or brother or someone to perform this prayaschitta. So undergo this. Dviginam to parairjanaihi. Maybe if it is being done by other than maybe the blood relatives like a brother, son, and all these things, if someone you are engaging to do prayaschitta, so then it has to be twice the amount of prayaschitta has to be made. And then in Śaiva thing, there are two things. One is Atmartha and Parartha. These are the two major things. Atmartha things, of course, it is the initiated Dikshita. If any wrongdoing, he has to do prayaschitta for himself. Parartha is purely for Agam, the Alaya, it's for temple related thing. Most of all. So again, the who prescribes this prayaschitta, the same thing also we have seen in the Smārta Smritis, who prescribes this prayaschitta. But here it's a very main difference is here a guru is this prayaschitta, because that parishad gives that assembly, the council has to prescribe this prayaschitta. Here guru has to prescribe. If Shishya or someone who is did any wrong thing or crime or sin, so guru has to prescribe, okay, do this prayaschitta. If guru is not there, if guru is somewhere not available, then only go for the assembly. So that is what here we have seen. Trisapta Panchadashabhihi Acharyehi Tantraparagaihi Swashastra Neyatabhyasaihi Dattam Swagurubhir Vina. If his guru is not available, then it has to be decided by the group of people. 3 Sapta Panchadashabhihi, 3, 7 or 15 Acharyas. Tantra Paragaihi, of course, who has come across the ocean of the other, who has completed the master of all those tantras. Swashastra Neyatabhyasa, he is not only preaching, he is also undergoing, he is also practitioner, supposed to be. Then that person can be, the assembly can prescribe the prayaschitta. For when the guru is not available. the assembly, the council also should not consist of na murkhaihi dirghasutrairva nastikaihi vadahetukaihi. And also these negative characters should not be there. So this is the assembly seen in Śaiva Siddhanta text. Of course, Parartha Prayaschitta, it is a temple centric. It is for mainly we are seeing in the Agamas. So if any wrong thing happens to that village, so the king and the village so it is not good for the king and the village. So this is a repeated statement we are seeing. It's Parartha Puja is Alaya Puja. Saura Puja Vihine cha Bhupatehe Roga Sambhavaha Shanti Homam Tatah Krutva Namakaihi Snapanam Kuru. So this is also we are seeing in Amshama Tantra. So in the temple, one has to do Surya Puja first. If there is no starting with Surya Puja, maybe it's without Surya Puja, the other ritual starts. Bhupatehe Roga Sambhavaha. The king will get some disease. So for that, we have to do Shanti Homam Krutva. Then Namakaihi Snapanam Guru has to do the bathing ritual, Abhisheka with Namaka mantra. Again, it is a temple related prayaschitta refers to ritual performed to remove defects, dosha, in temple worship and restore the sanctity of the deity, vigraha or alaya or kriya. It is a key part in Parartha worship. Prayaschitta ritual done in temple to correct errors in worship, maintain purity, and re-establish divine presence, Shakti, such as Homa, Puja, Abhisheka, Shuddha Punya, Havachana, Veda or Agama Parayana. So both are seen in Śaiva Siddhanta, Veda Parayana as well as Agama Parayana. It maintains dharma and cosmic or Loka Kalyana. So why Prayaschitta in temple needed? Because temple is again, it's a place. It is here two things. One is the Shakti of a deity, and the premises purity of the temple premises. Mantrocharane doshaha, krama bhange doshaha, nitya puja bhange, puja lope, kakashwadi praveshe, alaya praveshe doshaha, prayaschittaha, pratima bhange. So sadhaka adinam ashauche prayaschitam. So there are thousands of such prayaschitas seen. So Sura, Mamsancha, Rudhiram, Shwana, Kukkuta Gardabham, Nara Pakshi Mrite Jate, Nara Mutra Purishake, Sutake, Andhako Vapi, Maha Rogi Doshakehi. So almost many agamas are giving these details for all these defects. So one has to do Shuddha Punya Havachanam or the different homas, Shanti homas, Bimbas Parishane Yate Punaha Prokshanam Acharit. So these are it's a major text is being covered with this prayaschitta in different agamas. So the purpose is to remove above said some of the doshas. The prayaschitta is performed by the acharyas to ritual correctness and sannidhya, divinity there, and collective karmic effects, welfare of the king and devotees. So how the Śaiva Siddhanta and Smārta Prayaschitta is different from each other. If you see, both the manuals in Śaiva and Smārta Prayaschitta are prescribing almost same for the faults, sins, or crimes committed by the initiated persons in Śaiva Dikshitas and in the Śaiva Siddhanta system, and non-initiated individual who are following the Smārta system. The concept of Prayaschitta develops differently in the Vaidika, Smārta, and Śaiva traditions, reflecting their distinct priorities: ritual precision, social or ethical regulation, and spiritual transformation, respectively. They are, to my knowledge, what I see the difference between these two is the prescription of Prayaschitta by the council in the Smārta tradition, Veda Paragaha, Yajnayajinaha, all these things. There is no specific for Guru is seen in Smārta text. Whereas in Śaiva text, if the Guru, it begins like that, Anupasthito or Anupasthito Guru or Anupasthito, then only the question itself starts. Otherwise, there is no question at all. So Guru has to prescribe all these prayashchitta. If the Guru is out of station or not available, then only you think of the council. So this is the major thing, difference I am seeing. And of course, there it is a Veda Paragaha, here it is a Tantra Paragaha. So there it is, this is the two difference I am seeing. The prescription of Gayatri, Pranama, Punya, Vachana, and so on is seen in Smārta system. And Śaiva Siddhanta, I am seeing Samhita Homas, Brahma mantras, Anga mantras. These are the mantras used as for prayashchittas. And here it's a recitation of Vedas. There it is a recitation of Agamas. Sometimes Vedas and Agamas, both are also I have seen in Śaiva Siddhanta text. And here it's a Veda in Smārta, Kushpanda Homa, Tila Homa in Smārta tradition. And there are Murti Homa, Disha Homa, Samhita Homa. These are the Prayashchitta Homas seen in Siddhanta, Śaiva Siddhanta. And the Prayashchitta here for individuals, where it's a Prayashchitta for Dikshitas. Many such restrictions are for initiated Dikshitas, not for the people of anyone who is following Shaiva tradition. That is the prescribed for Dikshitas. I think that's it. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to invite first online scholars to raise your questions and feedback. Please, those who are online, please raise your questions. You go, please.
Thanks. If I may start, can you hear me? Yeah. Thanks, Satya, for introducing the prayashchittas, the basics of the prayashchittas. Prayashchitta is really, I mean, in Kerala collections, we find all sorts of things, but in prayashchitta is the thing we find in every collection. It's really so widespread and so important.
Morning I was seeing some of this the list of manuscript digitized. There seems to be hundreds of this prayashchittas. Mostly maybe it's following this either Vaidikas, Vedic ritual prayashchittas, or Smriti based some prayashchittas. Could be. I even think it is more of the Vedic rituals. This Soma Yaga or Satra Yaga. It's many such yagas prayashchittas are being there. We don't know the manuscript bundles I am seeing there.
So I was just wondering, okay, Vaidikas are connected to Vedic schools, I guess, but when we come to Smārta, how localized is this prayashchitta tradition? I mean, is it different in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, or in Andhra Pradesh, or is it completely unified? What do you think?
Yes, Hugo. I think what I have taken as a Vaidika and Smārta is one who is performing this Vajapeya or Satra or Somayaga or these Yajnayagas, at that time, whatever is the prayashchitta karma is done or prescribed, that I have taken it as a Vaidika prayashchitta. Otherwise, they all are Smārtas. Of course, all are Smārtas. This is a general prayashchitta also allowed. If one who does not do Sandhya Vandanam it's a sin and he has to undergo prayashchitta is common for me as well as the person who is performing this Somayaga. So those are the general definition. General prayashchittas is given for all. This specific prayashchittas is being given at the time of those rituals, these yajnayagas. Otherwise, all this the Smārta prayashchitta, whatever I have seen, I have noticed, it's a common for all people, including the person who are performing this yajnas and yagas.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else online?
It looks like minor. Yeah, I don't know. While writing itself, I thought that was so light prayaschitta for Gurutalpakamanam. That is what I have noticed. But this is not a byword. This is I have noticed from that Vishnu Samhita, Vishnu Purana or something. Yeah. But I also felt the same as you have.
Another question is, any comments in the text if someone tries to avoid confusion?
Sorry.
Any comments in the text if someone tries to avoid confusion?
Yes, it is there. There are prayashchittas.
Anybody else in online? Maybe I can move offline. Sir?
It was very informative and interesting. My first curiosity is in Veda, Srauta, sacrifices for Prayaschitta, there is no guru, only text. But still, in the text, Srauta Sutras or Brahmana text, some doubt arises who will decide.
There
must
yeah, of course, we need. Could be what else could be, because this is Shulba Sutras and Grihya Sutra, Srauta Sutras. Beyond that, where we have to see in the Vedic text only the Parishad again. There should be some Parishad to decide this.
We have the experience in Kerala, in Yagas, particularly in the 1975, very famous Adhiratra that conducted, and Professor Stahl recorded the whole thing. And in that time, there was a very great confusion regarding the sacrificing live animal. And it was very sensitive.
Yeah.
All the first people and the protesting.
Yes.
And then Erkare Raman Nambudiri, who was the chief of the priests, both Sree and Smārta in our community, was a very honored person. Well, with all knowledge in all aspects, he decided that Pishta Pashu can be sacrificed instead of animal. And it was accepted. So in such cases,
such people are the authoritative.
There will be someone to authoritatively.
Yes.
So even though text is there, I think or someone like that.
The superior.
Maybe Parishad also.
Yeah.
One should be authority.
Yeah. One should have the authority.
Yes.
Here in the textually, I don't get any gurus has to prescribe this prayaschitta, because in two other the occasions I have seen
But
Parishad Datavyamiti in that way only.
that may not be mentioned, but conventionally,
Guru is the one who,
someone
yeah.
who is, and I think in Yaga, the priest
Brahman is to.
priest Brahman has
That is his job.
Has that position,
Yes.
like the chair,
Highest.
moderator.
Highest,
So
yes.
that person, he also has this power.
Yes, because that's why he should have the complete knowledge of that sacrifice, so that he finds any fault and he rectifies.
Complete knowledge of the
Yes.
sacrifice, knowledge of all Vedas.
Yes. Only then he can be a Brahman in that sacrifice.
Another thing, the three main topics dealt with in Sree text: Ajara, Vyavahara, Prayaschitta.
Yes.
These are the main three topics. From Yajnavalkya onwards, this is the division given,
Yes.
mainly, not in money. Division of Smriti text. And in Ajara and Vyavahara, later we have so many commentaries, authoritative commentaries,
Yes.
like Vedakshara for Yajnavalkya, sub-commentaries,
So,
according to the need of the time and difference in Deshacharas and Kulacharas, etc. Are you familiar with any such commentaries related to the Prayaschitta?
yeah, I am following this Mitakshara because that is a well-known thing. We all are having that. There could be other, particularly not seen any of the other commentaries than printed.
Midakshara has commented Prayaschitta also.
Yes.
Prayaschitta.
Yes, that is also a commentary for that.
I think in later there are some independent texts in Vyavahara Mala. Sorry, Prayaschitta Sangraha.
Yeah, Prayaschitta Samuha, Prayaschitta Adhyaya, Prayaschitta Vyavahara. There are hundreds of such Prayaschitta.
Dattaka Mimamsa.
Yes.
We have a text, Dattaka Mimamsa.
They have taken only particular Vishaya and dealt with.
And if a thorough study is done, I think there will be more expansion or modification or concession or whatever may be.
Yes.
In this, it's also like those found in the commentaries.
Yes. This Prayaschitta also, if you see the scattered Prayaschitta texts in different regions. We have here the same way in south, same way in the north, also hundreds of such small
scattered.
If we collect those things, we'll see the regional variations or how they are dealing with the same topic or something. That could be, for the same Vishaya, regionally, geographically, in a different places, how they dealt with that could be.
The final third thing, for Smārta, Veda Japa, Mantra Japa, it is prescribed.
Yes.
For Śaiva, which is in that place what they prescribe.
Yeah. Again, it is a Veda mantras. Veda mantras.
Oh, only.
Again, Veda mantras.
Same Veda mantras.
Yes. It is especially for Prayaschitta, these Pancha Brahma mantras. Tat Purusha, Ghora, Vamadeva, Satyojata, these things, Ishana. But more of Aghora mantra japa is prescribed throughout Prayashchittas. For many many Prayashchittas, Aghora is being used.
Aghora mantra from which Veda?
Vedic, Yajurveda. For sometimes they are using Bijaksharas.
Oh, okay.
Instead of the complete mantra of this Pancha. So that is a Pancha Brahma mantras, Shad Anga mantras. So those recitation of those.
Not from Siddhanta text like Śaiva Siddhanta text. No. They
No.
directly accept Veda.
Yes. Again, these Brahma mantras and Anga mantras, these are so important in the Śaiva Siddhanta. Most of the times it is some Bijaksharas. It is not the complete mantra is being recited, only the mantra is being recited. That is also given as a Prayaschitta for that. Okay. Otherwise, Vayam tu Veda Shivagam yor bhedam na pasyamaha. That is what Mahabhuti says in his Paushkara Bhashya. I think there is no difference against for Vedic mantras or Vedic rituals.
Thank you.
This Agama Parayana is also Prayashita, right?
It was there. I think it is recently again. It is restarted in many places. I am hearing this complete parayanam of this Kamika, Karana, and Makuta. All these things. The complete recitation of this Agama Patalas. In between, I have not seen or heard. But now again, it is again. I don't know whether this was a practice. Agama Adhyanam. It comes in many places. Agama Adhyanam or Tantra Adhyanam. So Adhyanam means recitation or reading or teaching, we don't know. So as we have the Veda, complete Veda Parayanam, still we have the practice in that way. I don't know whether it was meant, but now I think it is restarted again.
In Kerala, especially on Padartha Prayashitas, or related to temple, there are some kind of homas like a Chaura Shanti, Naya Shanti, then Adbhuta Shanti. Those, if you see any Adbhutas or in Bimbas, like smiling, crying, when you see anything like in Bimba, then there is an expression called Adbhuta Shanti. Those are Padartha Prayashitas,
Yes.
right? Okay, same thing is in this Siddhanta text also. Like,
Yes. There it is mostly Divya Adbhuta Shanti, Divya Adbhuta Antariksha, Divya Shanti Adbhuta, Divya Antariksha. It is most of the text divided into 3 categories: Divya Antariksha Adbhuta or something. Shanti or happens here related to us, and related to grahas or related to devas. So in that way, the Kalotra, I think it gives detailed shantis.
what does it mean? This Shita Kumbha Vidhi.
Shita Kumbha Vidhi. It is one the type of ritual. It is performed as like other Shanti homas, Disha Homa, Samhita Homa, what I have shown. It is a Shita Kumbha Vidhi. It is very much practiced also. It's a Vidhi, it's a type of practice used in many temples.
Anybody else? And this Vipurud Homa, that is in Smārta, right?
It's a purely Vaidika.
Vaidika.
It's okay. Somayaga, I think that Somalata while I think making juice. I think that splits falls somewhere. I think for that one homa has to be done. I think that's what in that read somewhere, and it seems to be it is there in Shatabada Brahman. So if something happens during Somayaga.
And you mentioned this Tirthayatra, Tirthayatra expedition is higher than this Dana Tapasya in Parashara Smriti, right? Is there any other Smritis saying
the complete Tirthayatra? I have written one article on that, starting from the Rameswaram to Prayaga. So there are many texts which says that Tirthayatra. Of course, I don't know how far it is, but that is what text says. So Artha, all these things, I don't know, keep everything aside, but that is what this Smriti text says. Mahabharata also again it says, so it means, does not mean that don't do Vajpaya and other things. Of course, that needs a lot of expenditure and time and many things needed. So instead of that, if I am so poor, I do not have anything, go to Tirthayatra, you will get the same food. So that may be the intention of that passage. It is not say that don't do these things, you do this. Maybe that would be the idea of.
I don't know where you mentioned this Bhakti Diksha mantra practice, Anugraha. There are, you mentioned somewhere. Bhakti Diksha, then mantra japa, Anugraha, maybe different, I don't know where. This Anugraha means, do you mean this Shaktipata?
Shaktipata. In Shaiva Siddhanta, if it is, that is Shaktipata. Giving Diksha.
Okay.
Yeah, that is Sparsa Diksha. The Diksha, many varieties. Okay. There are so many Dikshas. There it's a Shaktipata.
Okay. Anybody else? online, is there any questions?
No. One more. Actually, this Prayaschitta and punishment, we have both.
Yeah,
Where this demarcation?
yeah, because not all prayashchittas are punishments.
That but where Prayaschitta is, Prayaschitta gives way to punishment. How? Or what is the demarcation?
Yeah, for some are wrongdoings, some are sins, some are crimes, isn't it? There are, we cannot say all whatever the prayashchittas are being given, it is only for the crimes. It is for social injustice or some.
That is what I have not gone deep into that. When the self
also
crimes,
so that comes for a self purification. So that way also it's a price.
the other is social,
personal also.
That will come to punishment.
Yes.
We have to check it more.
Yes. There are so many. The prayaschitta is not only just for doing crimes. It is for us also. It is for internal and social. Because stealing is not good. Stealing is considered as papam. So stealing is nothing to personally I gain, isn't it? But it is socially it is prohibited act. Stealing is prohibited. So in that way, that is also one has to do prayaschitta for that. So many things are involved. That's why I cautiously use the sins, crimes, and wrongdoings. Many things I wanted to do. It's not only sins or crimes.
Any questions? We can find it. Then it's okay, fine. First, I would like to thank Sathyanarayanan sir, especially on this wonderful lecture. And he came to Thrissur to deliver the lecture. And I would like to thank Sathyanarayanan sir on behalf of the DiPiKA project and also myself and also whole Brahmaswam Madham and we are in place. I'm thanking Sathyanarayanan sir. And also I would like to thank our CM Ninakantan sir who came here to for this lecture program, and I would like to thank CM Ninakantan sir on behalf of the DiPiKA project. And I know it's not no need to thank him because he's in the project, and but I would like to thank on myself. I would like to thank CM sir and also thank Hugo David and Sharma sir and all other dignitaries who are in online, and also some scholars. Okay, I would like to thank Justin who came for this program, and also all scholars who gathered here online and offline. I'm thanking all of them on behalf of the DiPiKA project. Thank you.
Hello, Olga.